What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I have a ton of physique updates from guys doing the Chicago Pro, the Tampa Pro, and one guy who's a potential contender for that Arnold Classic and Mr Olympia title in 2021. And some of the names include Iain Valliere, Hunter Labrada, Charles Griffin, and many more. And there's been a ton of guest posing, so I want to give a shout out to those contests as well. So let's get straight into it. And we'll start with Charles Griffin, who was guest posing at the NPC Twin Cities Open. So shout out to those guys for getting guest posers back at their contests. Also, they had Terrence Ruffin, one of the best posers, if not the best poser in the business today. Now, Charles Griffin is 4 weeks out of Tampa Pro in this guest posing, and he looks really, really good. He's in great condition for 4 weeks out. I think he's right on track. Also, he looks really, really big. Now, Charles Griffin always has been a bit of a monster. He's one of those freaks. You see him in the gym, and he's, Mr Olympia in the gym, sort of like how Dennis James was back in the day. But I think he's looking really, really good. His legs look a little bit thicker than previous years as well, which has been a knock on his physique. And I think that if he can bring that next level conditioning to the stage as well, then I think he's going to do really well in that Tampa Pro. Now, another guy, a guy that's actually making his comeback to the bodybuilding stage, I haven't seen him in a couple of years now, and that's Kevin Jordan. Always been a fan of his physique. I think I interviewed him many years ago. Now, he's 4 weeks out, and he actually surprised me by this recent physique update because I thought he might be a little bit more on the smaller side by some of the early, prep physique updates. But he's really growing into this show. He's prepped by Chad Nichols and actually guest posed at his Missouri State show as well. And I think he's looking great by this photo. I mean, there's been some recent updates where he seems like he's really growing into the show. So I can't wait to see the comeback of Kevin Jordan. I would love to get him on Desktop Bodybuilding for an interview as well. Now, another guy doing that Tampa Pro, and it's Iain Valliere. And now this physique update really did not shock me because I knew he was going to look good, but he really has made some improvements to his physique. So he's 4 weeks out here, 266 pounds, looks right on track, looks like he's improved a lot. So his legs is one thing that I think he's really improved. They look rounder, they look fuller, and that's one thing that I think that while it wasn't a weak point, I think that them being improved sort of matches his upper body a little bit better. And also his chest as well, it's a little bit thicker. So I think this is going to bode well for Iain, and as long as he can sort of nail it from a first show, then he's definitely going to be a favourite at this Tampa Pro, unless we get a Rolly Winkler or someone jumping in at the last minute. And one more guy I have a physique update from for this Tampa Pro is Seung Chul. Now, he competed in the Olympia last year. Actually really surprised me. I thought he looked really, really good. Now, he was guest posing. I don't have the name of the contest here, but I thought he looked absolutely monstrous in this guest posing, just absolutely huge. It looks like he's gone to another level physique-wise. Now, he's 4 weeks out here from a Tampa Pro. Is he in good enough condition? That's the one thing that I'm sort of worried about Lee. And I think that maybe he's a little bit behind at least some of these other guys. But as we know, some of these guys hold a little bit of fluid. They can sort of pull that off the last 4 weeks, and also body fat as well. 4 weeks is still plenty of time for some of these pros that can really pull it in physique-wise. But if he can pull it in, he has potential to maybe cause an upset in this show, because we know Iain Valliere improves as he competes through the year, and this is his first show for 2021. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of Iain Valliere? What do you think of Seung Chul? What do you think of Charles Griffin? And do you think that Kevin Jordan can make a successful comeback? Now, how would I place these guys if I was to make my predictions now out of just these 4 guys? Now, I would say Iain Valliere has to be the favourite, so I've got him in first. Now, I've got Charles Griffin in second. The reason being is we know Charles Griffin is in condition, or at least he's going to be in at least, at worst, good condition, because he's in good condition here, and I think that he'll bring it in the last 4 weeks and come in great condition. So I've got Charles Griffin in second. Seung Chul, now if he really brings it to the stage, if he brings the same as what he brought to the Olympia, maybe even a little bit harder, I think he'll definitely place top 2 in this show, or at least top 2 out of these guys. But I think Charles Griffin is probably a safer bet based on the conditioning that we're seeing at this point. And then Kevin Jordan, I'd say in 4th out of these guys. But Kevin Jordan, I would love to see him come in and shock a lot of guys here, because he's always been a guy that he's competed and sort of just been outside that sort of top 3, at least from what I remember. But I think that he looks absolutely sensational. The waist is tight, and he looks like he's packed on a ton of muscle recently. Now, moving on to some guys that are actually doing the Chicago Pro, which is just under 2 weeks at this point. We've got a posing physique update from Hunter Labrada, a video. And the video, while it's a little bit washed out, you can see that he's in good condition. Now, will he have the separation and details that he sort of lacked a little bit at the Olympia? It's a peaking thing for Hunter at this point, because he looks like he's in great shape. He's got, his glutes are in, his quads are in. He lacks maybe a little bit of detail through some of the muscles, maybe through the chest and whatnot as well. But that's sort of common these days among a lot of the top competitors. And I don't know what that reason is, but you don't see as many details sort of through the chest and deep details through the muscles. But he's looking fantastic this far out. He has to be a favorite going into this Chicago Pro. And I think that he'll most likely get his Olympic qualification here, unless Rolly Winkler shows up and looks spectacular. Now, another guy doing that Chicago Pro, it's Joe Mackey. Now, he's teamed up with Big Rami's Mr Olympia winning coaching combination of Dennis James and Chad Nichols. He's going out to Dennis's place in Arizona, training with him, and obviously being coached nutrition and supplement-wise and everything like that by Chad Nichols. And he's looking like he's going to be his best ever. Now, will he be in condition? I'm not 100% sure at this point. He still has a little bit to go to me, but that could just be water. And obviously, Chad Nichols and Dennis James definitely know what they're doing. So I think we're going to see an all-time best Joe Mackey as well. This dude's tall and packs a lot of muscle, so I can't wait to see how he matches up against guys like Hunter. And another guy who's making his open pro debut, and that's Brett Wilkins, trains in Armburst Pro Gym, which is Phil Heath's gym in Denver, Colorado, and 2 weeks out he is looking crazy. His legs are absolutely enormous, and upper body wise, he's definitely not lacking as well. He seems very, very complete, especially for a guy who's making his open pro debut. So I can't wait to see how he actually matches up against Hunter and Joe. And let me know in the comments below, do you think he can potentially beat Hunter and Joe Mackey and win this show and qualify for the 2021 Mr Olympia? Because I'm big raps on how he's looking right now. William Bonac, now he's obviously competing in that Arnold Classic show. He posted up these 2 back shots looking really, really good. He looks thick and looks like he's right on track for that Arnold Classic, which I think is about 10 to 11 weeks away now. Now, he definitely has to be one of the contenders. He's won, I think, multiple Arnold Classic titles at this point, going for his, I think, 3rd. So the fact that he's not being talked about as much as some of these other guys like Rowley and Nick Walker, I think is a little bit surprising. And I think William Bonac and Nick Walker had a little back and forth as well. So I can't wait to see how William Bonac looks at that Arnold Classic. He definitely has to be one of the favorites, and I would not count him out even for an Olympia title if he brings his all-time best, because he has finished as high as 2nd at that Mr Olympia, and I think that maybe another time when he finished 3rd, he could have been 2nd as well. So let me know what you think in the comments below about all these topics. Who do you think will win the Chicago? Who do you think will win the Tampa? And do you think William Bonac has a chance of winning that Arnold Classic and potentially a Mr Olympia in 2021? Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Melvin Anthony, one of my favorite posers of all time. He's still got it. He posted this up on social media of him pop blocking, pretty much doing all the moves he used to do on stage without hitting the actual poses in between. So he's just sort of dancing, but it's cool to see Melvin's around, and he actually appeared on RX Muscle's channel recently and sort of went to town on Sean Ray as well. So if you guys want to watch that video, the link is in the description below to that. But I wanted to give a shout out to Melvin Anthony for pretty much just keeping it real, but yeah, definitely had a few things to say about Sean Ray. And I wanted to give a shout out this episode as well to Drew_IFB Pro on Instagram, tagging me in all the bodybuilding news as well. So thank you so much, guys, for doing that. So that's it for this video. If you guys like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. So for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.